Hey guys, this is Yukai, and most of you guys who have seen me on the Discord as a green name, I went by the handle Monster, and yeah, I also do some of the work behind the scenes for the translation channels, as a lot of you have seen. And today we have a special treat for you guys, which is my friend Igor, and he's going to come on and tell his testimony. Hey, Igor.
Hey everyone, my name is Igor. I am a second year biomedical science student and I also work the Polish translation department of We Are the Saints.
Great. So, would you say how was your early life? You know, how did you come to Christ? Like your period of just struggling and unbelief. Can you describe that?
Sure. So before I came to Christ, I was just kind of cruising through high school, just with a goal of getting to university because I'm a sort of you could describe me at the time as a sort of science nerd, just interested in medicine. So I was like, well, life's purpose, I suppose, is to just learn about this sort of stuff, become a doctor or whatever of that in that field, and just help people, uh, benefit people's lives using my understanding of science and whatever. Uh, and that's sort of just like my grandpa in life, just to help people. Didn't really have any specific direction, but as uh, as life went on and I went into uni, uh, I sort of realized like I started going to lectures and it just had this like monotone feeling to it. Like I just thought there has to be something more to this. Like there has to be something more to life than me just studying and learning and then just going after a job. So I started questioning my life. Not gonna go into too much detail about these sort of existential questioning, but effectively I decided, right, well, from a even from just a very grand perspective, that God just has to exist. Like he created humanity on Earth. There's nothing else out in space that we can even observe. That's at least the equivalent of humanity. So I thought, right, well, there has to be a God. But now at this point, I'm thinking, right, well, if there's a God, then I kind of want to get to know him, right? I want to learn more about him. Uh, so that's what I
And then
did.
you started watching videos, right? On
Yes. So we're going to touch on this briefly. So the first video that kind of that impacted me deeply was it was the medical perspective of Jesus' crucifixion. So I just went into the medical and that anatomical detail behind the whole process. And one thing that really stuck with me, again, I'm going to mention everything, but one thing I want to stick with the audience was a forearm here. So we have two bones here running along our entire arm. So this is the ulna, this is the radius, and throughout our entire arm, we have, on this side anyway, closer to this bone, we have the median nerve. And so one thing I retained from that whole video until now is the median nerve runs until around like here, towards the palm. So the viewers can see where I'm going with this. So the Romans knew what they were doing. They slammed that nail through the median nerve, of course, causing a lot of pain and hand paralysis. And this is something that stuck with me as someone who has a vested interest in medicine and science overall. From there, I started just learning more about God, the Bible, like everything Christianity based, through videos that just kind of started appearing on my feed, on my
right,
on my homepage.
and and then afterwards you had a particular dream, was it?
Yes. So the stream was on the 20th of September. So what happened was I woke up in the early morning to my alarm, as I do. Then I woke up in my bed here, and I thought, right, I don't want to get up yet, so I'm just gonna go back to sleep. So what happened was I woke up in my bed in the dream, and my whole room and the outside, it was very, very dark. Like all I could see was basically like a black. It was very dark. So I just thought, okay, I overslept, big deal. So I made myself wake up, not realizing I was in the dream, but I woke up. So then I went back to sleep because I didn't want to get up. So at this point, uh, I wake up in my bed again in the same place, but this time it's different. Like my whole room and outside there's light, but you can sort of tell it's afternoon. It's my phone said it was sometime past 4 p.m. So I thought, well, that's annoying. I overslept. I wanted to get up earlier. So I wake up again from the dream. Again, decided I don't want to get up yet. I want to sleep in a little bit. But this is where everything changes. I go to sleep again. But I wake up in my room. I'm standing. I'm not in my bed anymore. I'm standing here, and I'm facing my drawer here. It's out of the camera view, but I'm facing my drawer, and I'm looking at lustful things on an iPad I shouldn't be looking at. So a few seconds pass, and I'm like, why am I looking at this? So I put it down. Then I turn this way towards the blinds here, and suddenly everything goes black. So I appear in this infinite black void. Don't know where I am, but I'm just there. There's nothing to see. I look down. I have clothes on. I think I have a red shirt specifically. I don't remember, but the important part is this: I hear a message in my spirit, not so much a voice, but I hear the words, "When you stand before me, you have nothing to confess." So the significant part here is that as I heard these words, I know that this spirit, this entity, whatever was speaking to me, was posing as Jesus. Um, but then my spirit, as I was hearing this, I thought, right, well, something feels very off here because I just naturally sensed a deception. It felt wrong. It felt off. I was like, this something's off here. Uh,
And you
this
talked to your mom about it afterwards, right?
I did. So uh, I called my mom about this, and I kind of told her about this whole process, and she basically told me, Igor, I don't think that was Jesus you talked to because this voice posed as Jesus, but I sensed something was very off. It made me feel horrible and everything. Um, but yeah, she told me, Igor, I don't think that was Jesus. But from this point, I went from less like scared to more of like, okay, so that wasn't Jesus. So, well, I want to learn more about Jesus. I want to, know him more meaningfully, have a deeper, more real relationship with the Holy Spirit and everything. So, I get a King James Version Bible, read it. I find it a little bit hard to understand because of the language difference. So, I get this bigger Bible, New King James Version. You can tell it's been through a lot more use. And yes, some time passes, months, and I suddenly have this like I wasn't doing anything crazy, but this was sometime
You
early March.
you were watching Michael's videos. You started watching, I think, Michael's videos, right?
That too, but that comes a bit
Right.
later. But I want to mention
Okay.
this the supernatural. How you described it, the peace that passes all understanding. I just randomly felt this. Like here in my room, I was
Right.
sitting,
Right.
and it was so much love, so much peace. Literally, the peace that passes all understanding. Like I didn't even know I was feeling it. I just felt so carefree. It felt amazing.
Right.
Uh, yeah. So then I start getting more exposure to the other saints. So I start watching Michael's videos. A lot of them were very relevant to me. So things that maybe I would have done something wrong, and then I see a video pop up saying Jesus says you are not a disappointment. So I think, right, well, this is Christian exposure. I like what he's saying. I like what I'm doing. I really like that he's talking with the Lord. So I joined the Discord, the We Are the Saints Discord, and I think, right, well, I didn't really think
You
anything
had
of it.
a prayer specifically that was answered shortly after you joining the Discord, right?
Yes, yes. So I prayed to the Lord because up until this point I was just kind of cruising through daily life, not really with any purpose. So I prayed to the Father. I said, Father, just please give me some purpose I can serve you more meaningfully. I want that deeper, more intimate relationship with you. So first I pray for my light's purpose to be revealed. I don't get an answer, but then Yukai, you come in, we start talking, and then I realize, right, maybe I should tone it down a bit, and I'll just ask for, Lord, what do you need done within the season? So again, the Lord answers my prayer through Yukai. So I see this paragraph on the We Are the Saints server saying, guys, we need help with translation. So I kind of jump at the idea and I say, yeah, okay, so I speak all these 6 languages, and but the most value you'll get out of me is if I just do the translation, the Polish translation work. So we get to talking and we set it up, and I just start doing the Polish translation work. I upload the videos in Polish so that the the Poles can also be edified and they can just learn more about what the Lord has to say to Mike, so they
Yeah.
can be edified. Yeah,
So God answered your prayers, and as we can all see, your growth from when you started, when you joined the server to now has been exponential. And
definitely.
all the work that you do, for us, for the translations and for the Polish server, it's really God answering your prayer in a huge way. And
Completely.
it's just, you would say, you would agree that the person that you were before you met God and the person that even now, like just a couple months, it's like night and day, right? It would be
Completely
like,
night and day. Yeah. Uh, Truthfully, that I would attribute over upwards of 90% of my spiritual growth just being over like the past 2 months. Because mind you, guys, I've been in the server for less than like 2 months. I joined in like sometime around March.
correct,
So
correct,
yeah, it's crazy. Like UK reaches out, I just jump at the opportunity. I say I can help with Polish stuff, and then I realize, wait, so the Lord wants me to do this, speak through
right,
circumstances, and I just get to work. And
yeah,
I just start learning more about the Lord, about the Bible. Start my spiritual life just improves dramatically, and I even start discovering that I have spiritual gifts which I wasn't even aware of. So God willing, going forward, the Lord will be using me through that through those
yeah.
gifts.
Yeah, I want the people watching to know that Igor even speaks in tongues now, you know, which is really something that it's amazing. Just all the things that have happened, and, it goes the same for all of us. How God just comes into our lives. We cannot imagine the plan that He has for us, and my friend Igor here is an example, is an
Yep.
example. His testimony is such an example of just how God works in our lives. It's just that easy. It's just that easy. You don't have to overthink it, You don't have to overthink it. There's each of us has a God-sized hole in our heart that he wants to fill. And you can see very clearly through Igor what God did for this awesome, amazing
Yeah.
person. So,
He took a version of me that was, well, truthfully speaking, unremarkable, a bit of a nerd, but with good intent. And now he just casually just putting me through ministry work, just giving me gifts, speaking in tongues, and just God willing, will continue to use me to serve and edify people, expand the kingdom of God. I'm just super
yeah.
excited.
Yeah, and for the people watching, you can find Igor on our server, and you can even reply to the comments on the testimony video. And yeah, you can just come in and talk to him about his experience, as I'm sure it'll resonate for quite a lot of us, just like it resonated with me. I was really, really touched hearing his testimony and what God did in his life. And yeah, we thank you for watching, this testimony.
If
Um,
anyone wants to reach me, by the way, I can reply to the comments under this video. My handle is at Igor_Wang. Or alternatively, if you want to get in touch with me, you can do so by joining the We Are the Saints server, and my name on the server is Igor. And you can ask me questions on there. You can get in touch with me through DMs. I'm perfectly happy with either. If you have questions about my testimony or prayer requests, anything, we can get in touch. Happy to
yeah,
serve.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.